Hey guys, how are you? This video will be different because I'm trying something new. This is just me talking to you about things I'm passionate about, and I hope you will enjoy it. You may notice that this video might be scripted because I did my research before and wrote down my thoughts so I know what I'm talking about. I also edited this video to remove any unnecessary ums and ams and also pauses so you get only the content you want. This is new and this will be my first video of this type, so stay tuned and be patient because, nothing is perfect when you try it for the first time. So I hope you enjoy this.
So what is the outer space? Earth has an atmosphere, and it is generally agreed that the outer space starts 100 kilometers above the Earth's atmosphere. So you may ask, Chris, but space is cold. There's nothing there. Well, not really. There are dead rocks. There are lifeless planets, some moons. Well, our solar system is quite big. Well, I don't know when I became fascinated by planets, moons, and so on. I don't even know if it started in my childhood, maybe later, maybe earlier. I don't know. I always wanted to write, but where the passion for outer space came from, I don't really know. So what I do to keep myself informed about what's going on in that area. So I usually watch a lot of documentaries. I read the books. I recently started reading The Planets by Andrew Cohen and Brian Cox, which is amazing. It's a refresher for me about the planets of the solar system, which is amazing. On Wednesday, I went to the Cosmology Night at Ernest in Newcastle, just across the river. I live in Gateshead, where there were two speakers talking about the moon, basically. So the first speaker was talking about solar eclipses and the role of the moon in that process. And then we have another speaker who was talking about human space exploration and why we should do that. Someone would ask me, hey Chris, do you want to go to space? I would think about this, consider it, sleep on it, and probably say yes. But knowing myself, I'll probably take a lot of time to think about it. But yes, I think I would go. Maybe not to live on another planet, but just to have this experience of seeing our planet from outer space, because I think people should have this opportunity to actually appreciate how grateful we should be to be privileged to live on this planet, the only place we know that can support life. It's like our own spacecraft that orbits the sun every 12 months. There is a term for that. Whenever astronauts go to the International Space Station, they have this experience called overview effect, which gives them perspective of the planet because they can see the whole planet through the window. Well, part of it, but it depends where you are at the moment. But even remind yourself of the photograph taken by the Apollo 8 astronauts, the blue marble, the first photograph of the planet Earth taken from space. And thank you to Carl Sagan that we have that, because they convinced NASA to do that. Just imagine how significant is that photograph. Because so far we didn't have a whole picture of the planet, but now when the astronauts stepped on the surface of the moon, like Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, they took the photo and that's it. There it is. The blue marble hanging in the darkness of the space. It's mind-blowing. If you look at it, that's where your life is. That planet is where your family lives. That's where are your problems. That's where is your happiness. That's where we fight, that's where we make peace, that's where our loved ones are. Like, the further you go, the further away you go from Earth, you'd start to realize that we are just a grain of sand. If you consider the scale of the universe and then consider the size of the planet, when the Cassini spacecraft was in the orbit of Saturn, it took the picture of the planet. If you look at the picture, you can Google it. Earth is just a speck. It's like a pixel in the photograph. I think it gives me some comfort as well, but also makes me feel a bit scared, because if whatever happens to that one place we know that can support life, then where else we could go? It takes one asteroid to hit the planet, and remind yourself of Tunguska, or about Chelyabinsk. And there's one or two rocks that just wreak havoc. Luckily, they both exploded above the surface. I'm not sure about Tunguska, but I know Chelyabinsk. I think it was Chelyabinsk meteorite that exploded above the surface. Imagine asteroid hitting like large population centers. Would people open their minds, open their eyes, and shit, actually there is a risk of being hit by a rock from space. That's why I really love the Don't Look Up movie, because it shows in such a ridiculous way how ignorant we are. But I don't want to be like some sort of doomsayer or anything. It's just, it would be great to actually make people more aware of the risks that can come from outer space. So human exploration is important in my opinion, because as Stephen Hawking said, in order to survive, because this planet won't be here forever, in order to survive and ensure the prosperity of human species, we need to leave this planet. It may sound sad, but eventually we would have to do that. I always think that if there would be a common danger from outside this world, whether an asteroid or the solar ejection or well, any other danger, you can think of whatever you want, but I think people would unite, and it is, or maybe not. It's difficult. I don't know. I'm very biased. I could be very biased. Maybe this is something I want to believe, that people will unite, but would they? I don't know. I hope you like this episode, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. If you like this type of content, please let me know in the comments below, and also stay tuned for the next episode of our Waffle HQ, which is a bit delayed, but hopefully will be live soon. I'm also working on something else, which is some sort of exploration of the local area, and there will be a short video about this soon. I'm just waiting for my equipment to arrive, and hopefully you will enjoy that too. So there's a lot of content coming in, and as this channel grows, hopefully I want to build it, develop my skills a bit more so I can bring better content and feel more comfortable in front of the camera. And as a conclusion, as I promised, there's something like special at the end of this video, so if you stay, just watch it. If not, then just skip it. You can also watch our previous discussions that will appear somewhere on the screen, and just sky is not the limit. Remember that. It's outer space to explore.